Welcome to the Wormhole episode 9, and in this episode I hang out with JJ Life on Instagram, or Johnny Avila. He's an entrepreneur from the Coachella Valley, and we talk about the importance of social media and how it has helped us grow our business, and we discuss our similar upbringings here in the Coachella Valley, or if you relate to any of these things that we talk about in this podcast, growing up around gangs, growing up. After watching this episode, this encourages you to start whatever business, to start whatever dream and goal you have, because at the end of the day it's all about starting, and we make it clear that you need to start, and that's the number one thing, to stop making excuses. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to let us know anything about this podcast in the comments below, or hit us up on Instagram, for me at Wormhole or at JJ Life. And hopefully you guys enjoy this episode.
Getting at my life, I want to find the things. Wake up in the morning, saw my face, I'm in the magazine. Word!
Man, thank you for having me here. It's an honor, it's a privilege, man. I never thought I'd be in front of a camera like this, having a podcast. It's pretty crazy because you never know who you run across to.
I never really talked to you. I didn't really know you, and we connected through social media. Literally, we had this meeting, and we ended up running into each other today, like in the streets.
That's crazy. That's crazy how we actually rescheduled, and then we had it today, and that's today when I seen you.
That was cool. Yeah, because we were supposed to do this video last Sunday. Was it Sunday?
Yeah, it was
Sunday. Something that happened.
Miscommunication, but you know, we got to it, and here we are.
We made it happen, and now we ran into each other, and now we're here. The guy with the yellow car, as people have been seen on social media. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do?
Okay, so I actually grew up in Indio, and at the age of 12 I moved to Coachella. My mom got her first house, and we went from one gang-related community to another gang-related community. So I grew up in Campo, and from there I went to Cochelita. So I grew up around gang-related communities. I grew up around drugs. I grew up around people, shootings, and all of that stuff. Seeing the gang task force, the SWAT, all of that stuff. So growing up, I always wanted to do law enforcement. The adrenaline. I was always a chismoso that was right there watching. It's pretty crazy because a couple years back they murdered my front neighbors.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they murdered my front neighbors, and I actually came out in the news the next day.
I saw that clip on your...
You saw that clip?
Yes, you have it on your Instagram highlights of the story of your life. I went through that stuff.
Yeah, I came out. I was 16 years old at the time, and you know, you need if you're a minor, you need permission, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember that I came out on TV. I was so excited. Telemundo and KSQ came to interview me in Spanish and English, and I was so excited because I was going to be on TV.
Yeah.
And then my mom gets home from work, and she's like, "What did you just do? You put yourself out there, and you started saying this and that. They're gonna come get you." And I was like scared. I remember I was scared.
Your mom told you that?
Yeah, she told me that I was scared, and this and that. Years have passed by, so my whole life I wanted to do law enforcement because I wanted to help out kids, get out of trouble and all of that.
You grew up in that environment.
Yeah, I grew up around that environment, but it's pretty crazy because it all depends on the environment you grow up in, the friends you hang around with. Because the same people that I grew up with, some of them are dead. Some of them, they're not doing nothing. So it's pretty crazy how you grow up in the same place, yet you still are turned out to be different.
Yeah, because we are a product of our environments, but you also have to think about how if you're hanging out with a certain crowd, you're going to attach to whatever they're doing. So if they're doing drugs or they're gang-related things, you're gonna eventually follow those people. So how did you not get into that entire gang business? Since you were always around it, what choices did you make to not become a gang member, basically? Okay,
so it's more crazier because they say it depends who raises you, you know? Mm-hmm. But then again, me and my brother are total opposites. He's 2 years younger than me. They say that it depends on the household you're raised.
Yeah. But
we were raised under the same mom. It's just that we had different types of friends. I stayed away from the friends that wanted to go out and do all kinds of stuff. And eventually my brother had a kid, and then that's when he started getting responsibility, so he stopped doing all of that stuff. But it depends on the type of friends you hang around with. I think that's really important because under the same household, we still went different directions. So then my dad eventually, he got sick. He got cancer back in 2011. And in 2013, my dad passes away. Those 2 years that he had cancer were the most united. My dad used to drink a lot. He used to get home from work and then drink. Yeah, so eventually he got cancer. He couldn't drink no more. And 10 days from my 18th birthday, my dad passes away.
Damn.
And I wanted to go into the military because I was like, okay, I want to be a cop. I'm going to go to the military. It's going to be even easier.
Mm-hmm.
I had applied to Cal State Long Beach, Cal State Fullerton, San Bernardino, and I had applied to CSU LA. And Long Beach was the only school that rejected me, the one that I wanted to really go to.
Oh, it rejected you?
I really wanted to go to. That was the only school that rejected me. So then they told me, if you want to appeal the process, go for it, submit the paperwork. But I remember I had a family member that told me, that told my mom, don't go to that school, it's too expensive. Go to this school. Don't go to that school because you're not going to make it through.
Yeah.
I didn't have no family in the LA area. I still don't have. Everybody's in the Coachella Valley. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the risk because, one, I can't leave to the military. Two, I need to be close because I was the man of the house now.
Yeah.
I have four other siblings.
So you ended up going to that school? Or
Yeah, so then eventually I got accepted to it. There was a program that helped me get into the school. So it's crazy because I felt like high school didn't really teach me a lot because I had a 3.5 GPA. I went to college. It was a hard transition.
Yeah.
And I never did any organizations throughout high school.
High school was kind of a cakewalk. Like for me, I had like a 3.2, and I didn't do anything in high school, to be honest. I would just show up, easy tests, whatever you pass. So high school doesn't really prepare you for life. It doesn't. Well, not for life for sure, but for college. Like I only went to community college. I went to COD. When I got to COD, like some classes were really easy because it's community college, it's not the college level. But even some of the classes there, you're like, damn, I actually have to try. You actually have to do the work. And high school, like I don't know how it is in other areas, but at least in the Coachella Valley, it's kind of a cakewalk. Everybody graduates.
Yeah, and then I decided to go because what do our parents tell us? They only know one language. They only know the language that if you go to school, you're going to become successful.
Exactly.
And I don't have nothing against school, but people get in debt for this. People pay for school, get in debt to go get a job that's going to pay for their debt.
If they get a job, because I know a lot of people that graduated that.
Same. I just graduated back in December from Cal State Long Beach.
Yeah.
I ended up graduating, so family members that told me I wasn't going to make it, I finished it. My last semester, you know, it's crazy. My last semester I got a D, 3 C's, and 1 A. 2.8 GPA. So a GPA doesn't define who I am because that's not who I am. It's just I got a piece of paper. Yeah, if you're going to become a doctor, a lawyer, go for it because we need doctors and lawyers and stuff. But if you want to make money, like me, I wanted to go to school to make money. As a cop, you can just go in with a high school diploma. So I just wanted to make more money. So I went to college.
I know, since you wanted to be a cop, why did you end up going to college? It's because of your parents saying that's the only way out? Because
I saw that you can make more money, and then they say that's the only way out. So then none of my siblings like school, so I was like, I gotta go make my mom proud, I gotta go do this. But college was crazy because it taught me a lot about life. I had never done any sports except football my freshman year, but I sucked. I was the kid that was third string. I was the kid that really sucked. I was small, scrawny, 4'8", and it's crazy because now a lot of those people that were like really studs in football and everything, they're the ones coming to me for help. Which is crazy. I left for 4.5 years and I come back and they're doing the same thing. And then there's nothing wrong with that. It's never too late to hit the reset button.
Yeah.
But it's always about what's the next level, what's the next level. And yeah, so then my freshman year, I decided to pledge a fraternity. I actually did a fraternity. I went all in. I wasn't going to do like the chess club or none of that. I went to an organization where it's pretty crazy because you have to pledge to get in. So the whole semester I was pledging to be able to get in this fraternity. A lot of people don't know that you have to pay to be in a fraternity.
Oh,
a lot of people,
I didn't know
a lot of people say you pay for your friends, but I paid for the college experience. Because then I started getting into partying. I was partying, drinking. I honestly had joined a fraternity for the girls, for the partying.
Yeah, well, that's why everybody does it.
That was the only way to get to parties, you know? So eventually I was just partying and doing all that stuff. And I just was wasting money. I would get financial aid. My financial aid would pay for my school, but I was just wasting it on that. Buying alcohol, all of that stuff. Eventually, I got a girlfriend during college, so I settled down, I calmed down a little. And then college just taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about life. It taught me a lot about just being disciplined, committed, and all of that stuff. It didn't really teach me a lot about school. I started with criminal justice. I ended up graduating with psychology because I couldn't declare criminal justice.
Why not?
I couldn't declare it because you needed a 3.0 GPA, and I wasn't that. The 3.0 was a 2.8 student. My second semester in college, I passed 2 out of my 4 classes.
Oh, damn.
So I could have easily given up my first 2 years. And there was a point where my mom was like, you know what, if you want to come back home, just come back home. But I was like, no, I'm going to finish it because I'm going to make her proud. And 2 years in, I fell into this depression. I was financially broke. I was physically bad, emotionally bad. Did you have
college debt or did you just...
I got into $7,000 in debt my first 2 years, but then I realized, no, you can't get in more debt.
So you found...
So I did get in debt because rent is expensive out there. A lot of people move out there and rent is expensive. You have to have roommates and all of that stuff. So I did get in debt, but it was subsidized loans, which means you pay them 6 months after you graduate.
Okay.
So interest hasn't built up, but I already started paying them up. So then it's pretty crazy because last year I was reflecting back on my goals. I was like, what do I really want in life? It was time to start applying to police academies. And I was like, what do I really want in life? I was like, one of my goals is to retire my mom. My mom is 58 years old. She stayed a widow. She still works in the fields, 30 years in the fields. I started working in the fields at age 15.
Oh, okay.
Every summer from 15 to 19 years old, I was working the fields. That's what taught me my work ethic.
Yeah, that's cool.
My mom never forced me to go work with her.
You just
it's just that I wanted money. I wanted to help her out. I was the man of the house. It's crazy how 2 parents can raise 5 children, but 5 children won't help those 2 parents.
Yeah,
that's pretty
it's
crazy.
Always
huh?
like that. Like people turn back on their parents, and they're the ones giving you everything. They're the ones that provided for you to have all these. This certain lifestyle, and we take it all for granted. Once you grow up and you get older, you realize how much your parents had to sacrifice, how much your parents literally put their personal side in order to raise you. And that's something I couldn't realize once you get older. That's good that you want to retire your mom.
Yeah, and it's crazy because growing up, I was the kid that talked back to my mom. I wasn't a troublemaker, but I was the one that was a picky eater, the troublemaker.
Yeah,
I'll talk back to my mom a lot. She beat me up like 3 times when we were younger, but now I'm the one that most values her. It's crazy because now I'll do anything for my mom, like any little thing to see her smile.
Yeah,
and it's crazy because they'll do anything to give us everything, and I think it's my turn to give back now.
That's pretty cool because I kind of relate a little bit, not as much as you, but I was working on all the summers, like you said. I would go work with my parents all the time because I wanted to get like jobs when I was younger, and no one hires you when you're like 12, 11, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I always go. My brother's like, instead of go finding something to do, why don't you help us with the family business, which is the tile business?
Yeah.
So we've been doing tile for like 12 years, and since I was 11, I would go help him do tile, and then I actually grew up in Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah. So not a lot of people know this. Back up in Mexico, when I was 6 years old, I used to bag groceries at La Ley, one of those like Walmart stores. So
yeah, I heard of those.
I used to work when I was 6 years old. Like I would bring in money. And I remember when I started working, I didn't work because I had to. Like, my parents were cool, but my sister worked at that store, and I told her, like, oh, I want to buy all these jerseys. I used to love soccer. Like, Mexican Soccer League, I was all into it. And then I told them, like, oh, I wanna own a jersey from every single team. Like, I had a team that was Morelia, but I was like, you know what?
Really? Yeah, my family goes from Morelia.
Oh, yeah, well, we're from Michoacan.
So from Michoacan, too.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm going to go for Morelia, but I also want a jersey from every team because that's freaking cool. That was my dream as a little kid.
Collection.
And then I was like, I'm gonna go work, and then I was working. I was like 6 or 7, and I was working, and I was saving up all the money. But then my parents needed a new stove, and I ended up doing the first down payment on the stove. So all my savings went into that because we needed it. It wasn't something. It was like I wanted something for selfish. But then when I was that young, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna contribute to the household because all my other brothers and sisters were working. I was like, you know, I'm gonna do something. So I feel in a similar way that what you're feeling, like, oh, you need to take care of something. You need to take care of your mom because they did all these sacrifices for them. And then in the similar background where we come working as young kids, and then now that we're older, we're trying to provide to them. And that's like one of our main purposes, is to help everybody around us, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think all of us here in the Coachella Valley have similar stories. You know, there's a lot of fields around here. Our parents came to the United States to give us a better life, but I feel like a lot of people take it for granted, you know. A lot of people don't take the opportunities that our parents came to give us really serious. I started reflecting back on my goals last year. I was sitting down in my class and I was like, I really want to retire my mom, but I'm like, I want to become a cop. One of my goals has always been to own a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
And I had left to college. I think that's a lot of people's goals, own a big cars and that.
You want to, you always want the nice cars.
You always want the nice cars, but how many people are actually working towards that? How many people are willing to put in the work? You know, we have Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. They actually really hustled, you know, they hustled to get their name out there. And I feel like people think hustling doesn't mean like not sleeping and all of that. And it's pretty crazy because ever since I just been putting in work, everything has been paying off.
It's, man, I feel the same way because we all make excuses. We all have time. You could talk about a new TV show and everybody's seen that TV show. Everybody's seen that movie. I used to be addicted to movies too. Like, you can see behind us, I have a whole collection.
Crazy. I
was just like all into movies. I used to watch every single movie, and at first it was cool because I was happy doing it. But then it came to a point where I was like, where am I going with my life? Am I really gonna become this movie guy 30 years down the road? Which would be cool too. Like, oh, you're an expert in the field, but it didn't bring me a purpose. And then I wanted to start this podcast to help more people, to have a bigger purpose, and then have conversations with people like you that are interested in doing things. And then once I realized I needed to create more content, everything just became clear. Like, the more content you create, the more time you put in, more resources, more connections, more people, and everything is just so much easier. But we're stuck watching Netflix, or we're stuck watching Hulu, and we're wasting our time. And everybody has time. Everybody does have time.
And it's crazy because you didn't go looking for your passion found you.
Yeah.
Just by doing trying out something else, taking the risk of trying
always
something.
Changing myself.
You found. I was always like, damn, what's my talent? What am I good at? And I was always trying to find. I bought a guitar because I was trying to learn how to play it to see if I was gonna be good at it. They say that growing up I was gonna be a musician. I guess it didn't work out. But eventually, my cousin invited me to his business, and I have never seen myself as a business owner. Never have I ever thought. But then I started surrounding myself with business owners. They say you are who you hang around with.
Yeah.
They say you combine your closest 5 friends, that's the income you're gonna be making. So then I started surrounding myself with him. I had never met a millionaire. I had never met a person that made over 100K. Eventually, I started surrounding myself with all those people. I always knew I wanted to like own something big, multiple streams of income. I just never knew. And most people have this problem.
That's what we all want. We all want passive income. We all want
exactly,
like you said, we all want the nice things like Lamborghinis or the nice freaking big house and be able to travel, retire our parents. But we often don't have the paths, and we always give up too early. Like,
yeah, we're always away. We're one explosion. We're one decision away from that explosion.
Exactly.
Right? It's crazy.
And most people don't take action. Most people don't do anything. And you want these things, but you're not willing to work for them. But we mean willing to work is not, oh, I'm gonna work harder at my shift at whatever job I have. It's once you get off your job, like, are you trying to like learn more financial books? Or are you gonna try to get into real estate? Are you gonna see what business you can start? Like, you just have to start trying things. Try this if it doesn't work, but don't give up after one try. Like, do it, try to fix it, try to keep going, and then eventually you have to be self-aware. Like, okay, this is not working. Let me move on to this next project. This project, you give it a couple months, you start working on this project, this business, and see how everything works. And the thing is that you're learning from every project you're doing. It could be a business, it could be a project, and eventually it all adds up once you find your thing. Like you said, you find your calling. You never expected to be in the business.
That was crazy.
And then once it hits with all of your experiences as working as a young age, that you know what it's like to put in the work physically, because I'm pretty sure the fields are brutal in the summers.
Brutal.
So you have that.
Yeah, a lot of people are scared of failure. I think a lot of people are scared of failure and rejection. But what's the worst thing that someone can say? No. And it's crazy how a no will destroy a person. It's crazy. And the thing is, failure is not the problem. It's regret. Regret not trying something. I regret not trying this out a couple years ago, because now I see a couple people in the office, and now these people they're my age, and they're making $8,000 to $10,000 a month. There's one guy in the office that used to drive an ice cream truck in my street, and this guy didn't leave to college or anything. All he did was build his skills. 6 months ago, I was the most shyest, quietest person. And just because of personal development, I started going to the gym. I started replacing my music with personal development. It helped me grow as a person. It helped me really build up my mind. And I never saw myself reading a book. Last year I read 6 books. That's probably the most books I ever read.
That's crazy. Because have you tried audiobooks?
Yeah, of course.
Because, dude, that's for me, for my title business, I drive out of town all the time. Maybe 5 hours sometimes, 6 hours, 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
And like you said, you replace your music with stuff that you're learning. Is so much better. Like, music started getting boring, and then I just put on an audiobook and I'm learning about like a specific, anything you want. I mean, Audible has everything. So that's what.
A lot of people will waste money on food, will waste money on gas, will waste money on all these things that they don't need. They're wants, they're not needs. Instead of investing in a small book. And it's crazy because there's a lot of content out there that's free. People are willing to give it to you, but people give it out.
Not even buying your own audibles. Like, just watch YouTube videos. Look up articles on the internet. Like, we have the internet. We're in the greatest era, and we're not taking advantage of it. Like, for me, I didn't know how to like use a camera when I first started. I didn't know how to make YouTube videos. Up to this day, I've made 270 YouTube videos.
Okay,
and
dang,
most of them terrible quality. Some of them random things, like maybe they suck and maybe they think my videos suck now. But I just keep making new videos, and I'm just not gonna I just keep trying, and the information is there for everybody to use. But we're scared of failure. We're scared of rejection. Like this, the same thing.
Yeah, we're all scared, and I think it's all mentality. You gotta be really strong-minded. Anything is simple to do, not easy, simple to do, but I think it's what's up here and what's coming in your head, because a lot of the times it's going to be family that's going to put you down.
Yes.
They're the ones going to put you down. But why would I listen to my mom on handling my personal finances if she's not good with her finances? So how am I going to ask my mom for finance advice when she's not good at that? If I want to raise children, then yes, I'm not going to ask her how to do it. But if I want to make money, she's not the person to ask. I mean, she's paycheck to paycheck. 8 out of 10 families here in the Coachella are paycheck to paycheck. 78% of the United States. Pretty crazy.
Basic that, that's crazy.
It's crazy, and the thing is that we're only taught that one language, that if you work at a job hard, it's going to get you to places. So most people won't even want to go sell Yu-Gi-Oh cards for a living, find their true passion.
Do you ever play Yu-Gi-Oh stuff?
When I was younger, I played Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon cards, all of that stuff, marbles. I was like, I had a childhood because I grew up in Campo, and right there,
I grew up on Cover Track across the street.
Oh, well, right across that. It's crazy how it's crazy.
You said Campo, I was like, oh, I kind of relate to
yeah, so it's crazy. I grew up all of that. I used to get dirty. My pants, I used to come home and my pants were full. And damn, it's crazy how you reflect back and you see where everyone is headed now.
Well, like you said, we grew up kind of together in the same areas, and we just decided to just take advantage of the opportunity that's ahead of us. And we're still early.
And you can always hit the reset button.
Exactly.
Because most people, they're at 18 years old, at 22 years old, and at 30 years old, they're already thinking like, damn, my life is over. Damn, I don't know. But even a 30-year-old has only lived 30% of their life. If you see it on another perspective.
Exactly. That's the way I was thinking about it, because I just turned 26. When I was 25, that's when I was like, you know what? The first 25 years of your life, you kind of learn a lot of stuff. You learn. That's like your learning process. And now the next 25 years is where you're gonna build whatever passion, whatever business you want to do. So now I have all this experience behind me. So everything moving forward is just going all in. So I get what you're saying.
It's like me. I want to start kind of a movement where I inspire young individuals, because even then I'm starting pretty young. I'm 23 years old, but I was starting around 22, and I never had anyone to look up to. So if I'm over here helping and guiding 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, imagine by the time they're 22, 23 years old, if I hit the reset button, I put my degree aside and I'm starting from scratch, bro. I'm not even using my degree. I'm a psychology, no. I'm starting from scratch, something that I had no education, because I think self-education is really important. Reading books is really important. I think most people hate reading books, and I used to hate reading books. Eventually, I started reading stuff that I can relate to other people. Relating to people that started from the bottom too, that you can relate to. Is there some books
you recommend? Because
one of the books that actually changed my mind was Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm not sure if you ever got it. Robert Kiyosaki. That was one of the books that really inspired me to.
You in perspective.
It's all perspective, because you have your rich dad, which was his friend's dad, and then you have your poor dad, which is your own
teacher,
your own dad.
The stuff you're taught.
Yeah, so that was one of the first books that I actually read. And then there's a couple books I read through Audible. A lot of people don't like reading. Well, just listen to it.
Yeah, when you're at the gym, when you're washing dishes, when you're washing clothes, when you're sweeping, when anything, like instead of listening to freaking Rihanna for the 100th time, like listen to something that's gonna make you better while you're already doing tedious tasks. Like it even makes everything easier, because you're getting into the conversation and you're just washing dishes or whatever, or going to the gym. Like it's a little harder because some people need the motivational music, but you can still listen to Audible.
Even then, I go on YouTube, and I'll be at the gym and I'll listen to motivational videos. How to believe in yourself, how to not quit. I still really listen to that, even if it's the same videos.
Like that stuff gets into your subconscious. Like it's so powerful. And
it's one thing that Gary Vee says. He says sometimes you ask yourself, damn, like, how do I stay positive if when I'm at home there's so much negativity? Well, get in your room, lock your door, and put your headphones on and start listening to positivity. That's what he says. There's really no excuses.
And man, especially, I don't know if it's just the Valley or anywhere, but in the Valley there's a lot of negativity here.
I come across that. It's crazy because someone will come into my office and I'll talk to them, and they'll walk outside, they'll go home or whatever, they hear one little sentence, one little word, and boom, they'll destroy their goals and dreams, and then they're crushed. And it's crazy because it's a friend that's not even doing better. It's a family member that's not even doing better than them.
Exactly. And they're taking advantage, like, oh, don't listen to that guy, or don't listen to this. But you're looking at them like, what are you right now?
Exactly. It's crazy. It's crazy. Sometimes it like gets me mad because people are just scared to take that risk because they heard of other people's opinions. And I tell people, do you like hearing opinions or facts? What you're gonna listen? And I think people are in this valley are really afraid to just take the risk to go on to something bigger, you know, because you don't see often people coming out of this valley doing big things.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I created this podcast, was because I was already making videos. I was doing this, and I was trying to see like, oh, who else is a content creator? Because I'm always paying attention to like people on social media. Like that's one of the reasons I reached out to you, because I see you out here. And other people, I reach out to other creatives, photographers, if they're doing their own stuff. Because everyone's got their own like goals and mindsets, but there's not enough in the valley. And I feel like one of the reasons why people don't want to get started here in the valley is because of the same negativity. Like they want to start something and they know that everybody's going to start talking shit.
Yeah.
This person's going to judge me. Or what's this one's going to say when I make this post? And then just fucking do it. And
even then, people are like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. I don't know if I'm ready for that. You're never really ready.
You're not. You're never ready.
You're never ready. The other day, so it's been a while since I've been hitting the gym because I started getting busy with the business. I started getting busy with getting my licenses out of the way, other licenses, and I hadn't been to the gym. And I was just sitting at home. I was eating. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not doing nothing. Let me just go to the gym. It was the middle of the day, and then eventually I started waking up at 5 in the morning, just doing it. 5 in the morning, going to the gym. And it's hard for people. I get 3 to 4 hours of sleep, but if you really want to get it done, you'll get it done. There's time in the day. You just gotta manage your time.
Yeah. There's certain people that they really have like a tight schedule. Maybe they have 2 jobs. They have to take care of kids. It's really hard, but even then, you still could sneak in a couple.
People go home and they watch TV. People get on their phone to just. It's cool to be on social media, but are you really using social media effectively?
The right way.
Yeah, and a lot of people are just there to see what other people are doing, and it's cool here and there, but
and it's fine too, because some people just enjoy it. Like maybe just want to see cool pictures and then whatever, but. If you're just using it, it's kind of like escapism. They use it because maybe they don't like whatever they're doing, they're bored, so they're seeing what other people are doing, and it's fine. But I feel like social media, you should be creating content, you should be pushing your personal brand more, because that's what's gonna be.
I think social media is cool. I don't have nothing against people just scrolling through, but there's things on social media. There's settings where you can look at how much time you spent. And some people spend hours. That's hours. Like, it's cool if you're here and there, but then we'll go from Snapchat to Instagram, from Instagram to Snapchat, back and forth, and nobody's messaging us. Eventually, you start feeling.
They want the little notification.
Yeah. Eventually, like, if you really have something going on, but some of us will just be skipping from social media to social media, social media to social media, back and forth.
For that same reason, I was getting bombarded with so much because I'm creating a lot of content. I don't get a lot of like, I'm not blowing up.
Yeah.
But if I'm posting on, like you said, on these different sites, I turn off all my notifications. Like, I only, maybe once in a while, I go on Instagram and I see all my DMs. Sometimes I have a bunch of DMs, or I go on Twitter, whatever, but for the same reason, because I don't want to be like, I just got something. I just got something.
Yeah, you're taking it all the time.
It goes into your brain. Like, that shit, it adds up. Like,
eventually, you start feeling your phone vibrating. It's not even vibrating no more. It's crazy because we're so used to it. It's psychology.
That's one tip. Just turn off your notifications and maybe check it once every couple hours. Like, unless if you really don't have to. But if people still want to do it,
a lot of people want to know how to make money, and it's an easy way to really monetize social media. You just gotta learn. But even then, people are willing to give you the tips for free on YouTube, but who's willing to put in the work?
They don't want to put in the work. I definitely agree. It always comes down to the basics, because it's the same thing. Like, for me, over the last like 8 months, I'm down 70 pounds because I started taking care of.
Congratulations.
I was like, you know what? I mean, 70 pounds. Sorry, 50 pounds.
Oh, even then, that's big. Even losing 1 pound is big.
No, it's because my goal was 70, but I'm down 50.
Yeah,
but
that's a big
I was like, you know what?
Congratulate you.
Thank you. For the same reason that we all know that to lose weight, you need to eat less calories than you're burning.
Drink less soda, eat less bread, all of that stuff.
Fats. We all know it. We all know that you need to, maybe if you run a mile a day, do some push-ups and don't eat bad, you're gonna lose weight. But we're always looking, what's the next diet? What's the thing that's gonna help me? And it always comes down to the basics. That's why social media is the basics. We know the information is there for free, but we don't want to put in the work. You don't want to stop eating bread.
Yeah, it's crazy because most people, especially with building a business or building anything, people want to see it work the next day. And I tell people, if you really put in the work for the next 2-3 years, like really put in the work.
I'm just like, you know what, I have to go all in. So right now I'm like doing some little videos here and there just to integrate into my content. And so one thing that Gary Vee likes to say is document, don't create. And it's so, like, if you consider starting a blog for yourself, just it's so much easier, dude. I've already been blogging maybe like 2 weeks, and this week I've made 5 videos. And for me to make like 3 videos a week was so hard, because I'm like, what video am I gonna make next? I have a list, but still, even with a list of videos, you're still like, man, I don't know if I should make this one. I don't want to make this one. But what I've been doing is I go to work, I just record myself in the morning, even with my phone. Like, half of my vlogs are with my phone. I use a camera too, but since I work construction, I don't want to take the camera.
Yeah, you don't want to mess it up. You don't want to.
So certain areas I'll use the camera, but mostly I've been using my phone, and I'll just put it like, I have to unload this tile. I literally put the phone right here in the corner, watch me move the tile. That's it. Whatever. I'm driving back to the valley. Then when I get home, I'm like, I gotta edit this video, or I gotta go do this, or I gotta do that. Like, That's why I even recorded you.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot to really make a business out of something like that, because all I did was I upgraded my phone to an iPhone XS.
Yeah.
And I just upgraded because the good camera quality, and eventually, me too, I was really shy and quiet, and I was like, how am I going to put myself in front of a screen? And I had never gone live on Instagram. Eventually, I started doing 15-second videos, and the impact you have, not just on one person, a lot of people are watching you at a time. And it's even people that are not even following me. They just click on it because of other people. It's all marketing yourself, you know. And I've had people that told me, damn, you made my day better just because of that 15-second video.
Yeah, and those videos that you make, I see your story and everything you post, because we want to see positive messages.
Yeah.
It's so much negativity, like not just in the internet in general.
Yeah,
just negative story about the news. Something happened with this. Something happened with this. And it's just like all that negativity, but to see somebody like you just posting positive content, encouraging people to move forward, like that is something that we want. We want that positive energy around us.
And the thing is, I'm really, really humble just because of where I come from. I've always been humble. A lot of people, here and there, I'll get people that tell me like, hey, you're just being arrogant, this and this. But most of the time I get people that they're able to relate, because I'm really humble, because I always show I'm really vulnerable on Instagram, because I don't want to show people fake stuff. I want to show people the behind the scenes, everything, so people can see that I'm not really arrogant, and that everything that I do is I work for. You see me leave my house at 5 in the morning, go to the gym, come back, shower, leave at 7 in the morning, come back at 1 in the morning. And that takes a lot, man. That takes a lot. Sometimes I'm under the same roof in my mom's house, and I won't see her for 3 days. Because she wakes up early for work, or she's asleep by the time I get home.
Yeah, whenever I go out of town, like I don't do it like every day, but I usually post 4 in the morning. I'm already on the road. I'm already on the freeway at 4 in the morning. 4:30 in the morning, I'm on the freeway. Like people are freaking like when they wake up at 7, 8. Like I was on the freeway freaking 3 hours ago, and I don't really try to be motivational. Like I kind of like got inspired by you, but. I just try to show what I do during the day. Like on my story, I just be like, okay, I got to drive all the way to Anaheim today. Like shit like that, just to see people that I'm putting in a lot of work. And then when I get home, I still have time to make 270 YouTube videos. I run photography Instagram, personal business Instagram, and then my personal Instagram. And I also have Twitter. Like I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm doing so much, like aside from my work. So now I'm integrating my work into my videos, which I wish I could have done earlier. Like we said, the biggest thing is regret. But moving forward, that's what I'm gonna be doing. So just putting that work.
Same here. I mean, I have a tight schedule, and you know, that's why we had to reschedule and this and that, trying to find a day. But you know, it works. You have time. You just gotta make time for it. Even if it's back to back. Not only do I manage my social medias, and not only do I manage family time, I also manage my business, and I manage training other people. And it's just a matter of managing your time and not wasting time, because a lot of people will watch TV, and I don't remember the last time I even watched TV. Like TV's cool, but if I can learn this from a freaking, if I can watch a video and learn this instead of watching TV, then why not do it? Why not earn an extra skill?
One more thing with like watching TV, because the only thing I watched was like sports, but I don't even watch sports anymore because they have highlights on YouTube. Like there's a 10-minute highlight of what happened in the game. Instead of wasting 2 hours watching the game, just 2 hours wasting time, whatever, scrolling to your feed. Just don't even watch it. Don't even be on social media. Be doing something, and then I'll go watch the highlights. Sometimes I don't even say who wins. You watch a 10-minute video, and you just save yourself an hour and 50 minutes, and you still get to enjoy the results that you would have gotten. Like that's one thing I've been doing. Like, and I don't know if you watched the NFL, but that's what I did for the NFC Championship game or whatever. I didn't even watch it. Like whatever.
Just watch the highlights.
I just watched the highlight without knowing who won. I got off. I was just making. I was actually making videos that day. I was right here making a video. Cool. I didn't see who won, and then I went on. I saw it, and then I was like, oh damn, that was pretty crazy. But I got this whole mindset. And the same thing with Netflix shows and Hulu shows. I haven't seen anything. I haven't watched one show.
Yeah, it's crazy how you look at your bank statements and you see, oh, this much is going to Netflix, this much is going to Hulu, this much is going to Spotify. It's all subscriptions, and that's how companies get big, because it's not only one person paying that, it's a lot of people. But why not learn skills? Skills that you can learn from the internet for free.
3 months, well, even not 3 months paying for Netflix, that's like $40-50. That's a couple books.
That's like
a course, an online course on how to make money here. But if you tell them, hey, pay for my $30 course, oh, I'm not gonna buy it.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time.
It's so dumb. Like we don't want to freaking pay for something that you know, if I apply what I'm gonna learn in this course, is gonna make me a shitload of money, or maybe learn this
Yeah,
skill.
it's crazy
But we're
how
willing
a
to
skill.
pay 3 months of Netflix where you're just wasting
Yeah.
time. It's crazy.
And there's nothing wrong with none of that, but a lot of people are complaining about their jobs. A lot of people are complaining that they don't know how to make money. And
Exactly.
this and that.
Like
That's the
money,
problem.
money is not the solution. It's not happiness.
Yeah.
And again, escapism. Some people love watching Netflix.
Yeah.
They love watching Hulu.
They
because
overdo it.
That's
That's
what
the
they
thing.
do. The thing is, you have to have balance. You have to have
balance.
kind of like I said, a schedule. Maybe schedule 1 hour instead of watching 3 hours a day. Maybe cut it back a couple hours. Cut it back 2 hours. You know, like it's just about
Yeah, it's about
being
time
self-aware,
management
self-aware.
and balancement and all. It's very important. It's very important also to learn skills because you want to get paid on your worth, on who you are. A lot of people are paid on their title, and that's not what they're worth. I mean, I remember I was getting paid on just my title, on just being an assistant, but why not get paid for who I am? A lot of people get paid thousands of dollars for just speaking about their experience.
exactly.
And because they learned all these skills, it took them a long time in the beginning, but hey, it's really worth it when you
It's
put
the
in the
long
time.
game. We have to think long term. That's another thing. But like
A lot of people
starting
think short term.
business, whatever it is, your new diet, your new business, your social media, whatever it is, long term. Like you were saying earlier, you want the results the next day. But that's not
Yeah.
how it happens. It's
Yeah,
years.
it's a lot of personal development. I'm really huge on personal development now because personal development will protect you from a lot of things. It's so easy to be negative. Why is it so hard to be positive?
Exactly.
And it's because we're surrounded by people that don't want to see us win. It's crazy because a person will envy you when you're doing good, but when you're not doing good, they want you to do good.
It's
just crazy
I
how
relate so hard.
how people and people will always have something to talk about, but do you want people to not even talk about you at all, not know who you are, or you want people to talk good or bad about you at least?
At least if they're talking good or bad, they know who you are.
Yeah.
They see you doing shit.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like, just start doing whatever your passion is. Like, there's a dude like I know like. He started freaking selling like burritos out of his house like in the mornings and doing this just to make an extra money, and he's actually making money doing that plus his regular job. And you just have to start doing. You never know what's gonna hit, and everything's an experience. Maybe you start selling freaking hot dogs, you learn something from that skill, and then you apply it into your next adventure, your next business.
Yeah, I asked this question to every person. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? Most people haven't even thought about that. And I tell people, do you want the next 5 years to be like the last 5 years? Most people don't, but what are they doing to actually do something about it?
Yeah.
The other day, I had a young little girl, 8 years old. She came into the office. She was selling pens. Her first month selling pens, she sold $3,000 of pens.
Oh shit!
People weren't buying it because of the pen. People were buying it because of the little girl.
Hustling.
I see my 8-year-old nephew. All he knows how to do is watch Netflix, get on the iPad, push the buttons. And this little girl already has all these skills that by the time she's 18, she's gonna explode with business. She's good at talking, communicating. I wish I was that good at 8 years old.
Oh, same here, man. There's so much time wasted.
Yeah.
Just like you said, we can't change the past. That's why we want to
Yeah.
step forward today. Be like, you know what? I'm done wasting this. I'm gonna move forward into the next adventure. That's dope, man.
Yeah, it's not about the mistakes. It's not about the past. It's about what you're gonna do from here and on.
Mm-hmm.
And crazy part is you can hit the reset button. It just takes a lot of courage to do it. Courage is a big thing to do, but it's really worth it when you're willing to change, because people think change is bad. Change isn't bad. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you.
Exactly.
And that's crazy because people don't want to be challenged. People rather go the easy way. People rather have it easy.
You're avoiding conflict. You want to stay in the comfort zone. You don't want to get out of your perfect circle. Yeah.
It's like one of the things that bothers me sometimes is when people tell me, you're really good at speaking, you're really good at talking, you're really good at this. If only you guys knew how much personal development I put into myself. It took me a long time and a lot of time to be able to speak like this.
I think it was a quote by who was it? I don't know. It was one artist, one of those like famous artists, Michelangelo, one of those. And he was like, when he was like 60 years old or whatever, some waiter told her to, he drew something for a waiter on a little napkin, and he told her like, how much it's worth, and he told her like $20,000, and then she's like, how's that worth $20,000 if it only took you like 1 minute to make? And he's like, it took me 1 minute to make right here, but it took me a lifetime to learn these skills. So it's like, that's the same thing right there.
Yeah, man. It's crazy how I just think life is unbelievable. Life is beautiful, man. Just you gotta be grateful for the good and bad. Most people just want the good and they don't want to deal with the bad. Most people don't want to struggle, but you gotta struggle in order to get to those good moments. You gotta go through the bad, through the worst to get to the good.
Yeah, and then I'm glad that you're giving the encouragement and the positive. Like I'm so big on positivity. Like I'm just trying to cut off all the negativity because, man, there's so much.
It's hard.
One negative thing could put you down. Like, you could be in the right track. One negative thing hits you, and you're like, oh man, I don't know if I should be doing this.
One little thing can get you unfocused. So one little thing can get you unfocused, and then it brings momentum down. You can be doing so good, but yet something hits you, and boom, you're destroyed. That's why you got to be really mentally tough to be able to do that. It's
just
all
like,
mental toughness.
Make sure it's part of your plan. Like, I'm big on writing goals down. Like, over the last, like, I never really did this until the last, like, 6-7 months. So the last 6-7 months, like the way you're saying that you just kind of chase, it's for the same thing for me. I've been writing down my goals. I write them down, and then I check them all the time. Like, am I on the right path? And then I've been more accountable. Like, oh, okay, I'm doing monthly and weekly goals now. Yeah. So if I don't reach my weekly goal, I say, oh man, the next week I got to step it up. And then I have a monthly goal. Then at the end of the month, like, it's already the end of the month, so I have to go through what I wrote down and see which goals I'm going to be able to achieve and which ones I failed. And then next month, I gotta work harder to achieve.
Accountability is important. Most people don't want to stay accountable, and it's really important because you gotta have someone telling you if you're doing it right or wrong. You gotta have constructive criticism. Most people don't like that. Most people don't like being criticized. I love it because it makes me see what I'm doing wrong and how to become a better person. That's why I love criticism. When people tell me I'm not doing something right, tell me what I'm not doing right so I can fix that.
I always tell people that too. Like, especially from my YouTube videos, I'm always like, hey, let me know if you think this shit's, if it's not working or if I should do something different. Yeah. And I'm always open to criticism. Like, for me, boom, Chris, and just move forward. Oh, learn from this. Maybe this didn't work, or I'll make it different this time.
Yeah, to me, one of my things is to inspire the people from the Coachella Valley to go out and do whatever you like. If you want to go out and sell this little thing, even if it's selling yoga cars, go for it. If it's your passion, do it. Because a lot of us, someone tells us, no, don't do that, no, go do something else, that's not going to make you, and then we get discouraged. But it's that one little thing that you take the risk for, and you find out what you really have. I feel like a lot of people in this valley have potential, they have a lot of great talent, they just haven't discovered yet.
And not even just that, like, the location that we're at, it's so, we are less than 2 hours from LA, about 2 hours from San Diego, 2 hours from Mexico, 3 hours from Phoenix, from Arizona. Like, we could connect with so many people. There's so much opportunity where we're at right now, and we got to take advantage of it. If you're from the valley, definitely. Yeah,
a lot of people say I'm really good at what I do, I'm really lucky, but they don't see the behind the scenes, the work that I put in. It took me a lot, and a lot of people think I've been doing this for years. It's not that. It's just that I've been a student of the game. I'm coachable. I have people mentor me. I have mentors. I think it's really important to have a mentor. Always have someone on the other level to teach you how to do it. And there's a lot of millionaires willing to teach you how to do it, but it's up to you. Sometimes people think, oh no, don't do that because you're never gonna get there. Well, having that mentality is already starting with the negative mentality. It's all about attitude. Attitude is important. How you wake up is how you're gonna end up your day.
And how you talked about the law of attraction. I really don't believe in the law of attraction as like, oh, I hope this happens to me. But if you put in the work and you surround yourself with the right environment, you're gonna attract more and more opportunity.
That's what I say.
I
say that law of attraction of that too, because I remember being so negative at one point and nothing was going right. Everything. I felt like the world was just going down. Then I just thought, it was personal development that got me through all of that. Eventually, I started getting opportunities coming left, right, started taking them, and you always want to be to the next level. You always want to keep growing. Most people finish school and they think that education stops there. No, education is a never-ending process. You always want to be learning and growing. I think personal development is really important because you grow as a person, and you look back and you're like, dang, I really was like that. And look at how much has changed. People notice too. People from high school notice how much I've changed, and they never would have saw me doing this, and I never would have saw me doing any of this. But I mean, it's all about making yourself uncomfortable. Most people are scared to make themselves uncomfortable. One day I hope to speak in front of hundreds and thousands of people. And public speaking is one of the things that I'm really scared about. But I'm going to make myself uncomfortable to make that happen.
How are you dealing with that right now? Because I saw you post that you're doing a couple speeches already for...
so I'm already speaking in front of people, but it's exposure. It's exposure and having a testimony, having a story. I think we all have a story. But I think a lot of us are scared to tell it. And I think I found a platform where I'm able to do that, inspire through social media, whether it's through my business, whatever it's through the gym. Everybody has something where they can use to be able to expose themselves, but are they doing the right thing? And to me, it's to be able to put myself out there is just telling my story to everyone. That's how I'm trying to put myself out there,
because people are from the heart. You're speaking from
speaking from the heart and speaking from experience, and people are able to relate to me because I'm from the Coachella Valley. When someone looks at my Instagram, they're like, "Oh, this guy's from the Coachella Valley." That's why I have on my bio Coachella Valley.
Yeah.
So they don't see that I'm from LA because I live in Long Beach. I actually have an apartment in Long Beach that I don't even live in. I'm paying rent just because most of my business is here. But my lease still hasn't ended. But am I worried about that? No. Am I worried that I have an apartment out there that I'm paying that I'm not even? No. It's gonna be huge. I know it's gonna be huge. It's not.
How long do you have left on that?
Till June. It sucks, but I mean, when and then if I want to go over there, I just stay there. You know, it's cool. But it's not where you're at right now. It's where you're headed. It's where you're gonna end up in.
That's cool that you're not. See, a lot of people would find as an excuse like, "Oh, I'll get started in my business, or I'll get started as soon as my lease ends, and then I could move."
Yeah.
You said, you know what?
I took the risk. I took the risk.
Freaking going forward, like it's a setback, but you're just going forward.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can hold me back, but I don't let them hold me back. People put excuses, but there's really no excuses to anything. Everything's doable. With a little bit of work, everything is doable. We want to get back to the gym. You can't get back to the gym. Just wake up earlier. That's it. Wake up earlier. You want to start eating healthy little by little. You can't just jump into something really fast.
Exactly.
It's hard. People want to really jump into fast and they want to see results. Results aren't going to come quick.
For me, like it's not just starting a diet. You kind of have to do like a whole life change.
Yeah, it is.
For me, I started doing keto. I don't know if you're familiar with keto.
I've heard of keto,
That's what helped me lose weight, and I don't even go to the gym that often. I used to play football. I used to play football at Indio and COD, so like after football I gained a lot of weight because I hurt my knee and I used it as an excuse. One of the excuses like, oh, I can't go work out because my knee was hurting. And I gained a lot of weight, and then I was like, you know what? This last 7 months, when I started doing like writing stuff down, that's literally the
goals are accountability. That's all it was.
Let's go. Let's move forward.
I had started gaining weight throughout college, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get back to it. And yeah, I got back to it. Consistency is important. Consistency and also urgency. You don't want to wait 10 years to start. You want to start now. Urgency is really important. And then I got back to the gym. I lost weight again. I gained it back, but I know how to lose it already. All it is getting back, being committed, and that's it. I already know how to do it. Just getting back to it. Consistency.
Yeah, it's all.
Once you learn how to do it, you can always do it. Another thing is having urgency. You want to have urgency because time is flying by.
Yeah.
I remember just being 18 years old, and I'm 23 now, and I'm gonna be 25. I'm gonna be 30 years old, and am I gonna look back and be like, damn, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have tried this.
Like going back to what you said, where you see yourself 5 to 10 years from now, but we have to like be doing the things that are leading us to the right direction. And watching a Netflix show that it's not even gonna matter 5 years from now. There's gonna be 10 new Netflix, 100 new Netflix shows by that time. Instead of focusing on your personal development, learning something, a new skill, like. And I've learned so, like I've even tried, like when you say you read 6 books next year. I don't even know how many books, but I read a lot of books.
Yeah, my goal is to read even more. My goal is to read 2 to 3 books a month now.
Yeah.
But from going from 0 books, my 4 years of college, to 6, that's a big deal. Most people can't even read the first page.
That's crazy. I haven't even counted how many books I read.
That's
Most
good.
of them were through Audible.
Yeah, Audible, I read a couple more, but I mean like physical books. I read more books through Audible too, a lot of audios from people that have made it, people that you're able to relate to.
You want to learn, because it's like how you talk about having a mentor. Sometimes a mentor is not the person that you're hanging out with. It's all these people that have content online to teach you these
Even
things.
then, if it's just someone you're following, that's a mentor. They're mentoring you, not directly, but indirectly, but you're learning from them. Another thing is people say, how do I get started? How do I do this? You start with your why. That's how you start. You want to have a why. You want to have a purpose, a why. To me, it's my mom. To me, they want to give us the world, but it's crazy how we want to give them the world. And to me, it's retiring her. She's just getting older and older, so it's urgency. So having a why, that's my why. Every time I'm having a hard time, every time I don't believe in myself, every time I think I'm failing, I look back to why am I doing this? Sometimes it could be your kids, sometimes your parents, sometimes it could be something else, something materialistic. It doesn't matter what it is. But always look back at your why. If you need to put a picture in your wallet, in your dashboard, on your mirrors, when you wake up, anywhere, do it. But that's what helps you, because you look back and you're like, I'm doing it for this. Always look back to who you're doing it for. Yeah,
because if you don't have a purpose, you could be just doing things, and then you end up losing passion midway through. Because even if we stay positive, even if we're doing the right things, there's still gonna be some negative thoughts, because we are our own worst enemy. Like. Like that happens to me all the time. Like I'm like, man, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I should do this, because we criticize more. Some people don't even criticize your stuff. Like some people, you might put it on. You're like, wow, that was dope, bro. I saw your video. But when you were making it, you were posting. You're like, man, I don't know what they're gonna say. I don't know, but it's all that negativity.
I always say there's two voices that you talk yourself with. It's the voice that you speak to people with, and people speak to you, and it's the voice inside your head. Which one is the one we listen to the most? The one inside our head. So it's you against yourself.
Exactly.
The only person you're in competition with is yourself. The person that when you wake up and you look into the mirror, that's who you're looking at, and that's who you always look at every day. I mean, we all look at the mirror sometime and during the day, and is that the person you really think you are? Is that the person you really want to be? And it's always us against ourselves. It's crazy.
I don't know. Our minds are so powerful, but at the same time, we want to use that powerful mind into...
Yeah, the mind is powerful. The subconscious.
Yeah.
Subconscious. I actually studied psychology. I went to school for psychology.
Yeah,
Never really learned psychology. I never really learned psychology. Yeah. I learned about neurons. I learned about this, and never even reverse psychology. Everything was through experience, sitting in front of people. My job is all it is I'm a professional friend maker.
You're talking.
I'm a professional, and it's always talking to people. So that's how I learned my psychology, by experiences, by failing, by trial and error, from messing up, from getting bloody noses, kicks, punches in the nose, the rejections. Started fixing, practicing everything. Eventually started mastering my craft, and I'm still working on myself.
No, we're never done.
I'm not satisfied.
You're never done learning. Even if you're so good at one thing, boom, you haven't learned
never
this.
Satisfied.
Boom, boom, boom. Let's just keep going. So that way you don't freaking become satisfied, because that's also one thing. You become satisfied with the work you've done. You're like, you know what? I think I did enough. That's pretty good. But at those moments, you have to take action. Be like, you know what? This is not where I want to be. I need to keep going, because if you start getting complacent, or you stop trying new things,
getting comfortable. A lot of people get comfortable. A lot of people are comfortable in this valley, and it's bad, because you just stay at the same. You don't learn new skills. Eventually, we get too old and we want to try something new, or we regret it, and there's no way of going back. There's no way of going back. It's amazing to see a lot of people just complain and complain and complain, but they're not doing nothing about that. Nothing.
And if, like, I don't know how people just use social media to spread negativity. I used to be like that too. Not like I didn't do it to spread negativity, but it's kind of like trolling. I used to go on Twitter, like talk a lot of like smack on Twitter. And I've been trying to cut back, and I kind of just, you know what, I'm just gonna use Twitter to maybe talk about this or post my content. And like I said, I turn off my notifications. Not only usually go when I'm gonna post, I go on it, I check what people are saying, what people are doing. I post my content, engage a little bit, and then
it's engaging.
Get away from it,
communicating,
and then that's
communicating. It's crazy how through a platform we can just communicate with the whole world.
Dude, on social media, like I've met people from like all over the world, and
me too.
They're really cool friends. Like it's awesome. Like I talked to some people from Canada, some people from Europe.
It's crazy because we're having this big convention in June. And a lot of people through social media, they're already like, I can't wait to meet you in convention. I can't wait. It's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia in June. It's going to be a week. It's going to be where the Super Bowl was at, that same stadium, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. But it's crazy how all these people are like, I can't wait to meet you at convention. I can't wait to meet you at convention. And they're from all different states. You connect really easily through social media. It's the easiest way if you want to reach out to someone.
It's so cool.
And some people want packages sent from these companies and everything. Well, build your brand, and people will eventually send you free stuff. Be wanting to work for free in the beginning, or be wanting to put in the work in the beginning. Eventually, stuff is gonna come.
You're gonna reap the benefits if you execute with the plan. Because it's also not just doing it without knowing what you need to do. Because if you don't have a plan, if you don't have the right tools, you could be wasting your time, even though you could be learning from that too. But you need to do the research and see, okay, this is the strategy that I'm going to be using, this is what I'm going to be doing. And if you, I don't know, do you help people grow their social medias too?
Yeah, I'm starting to help people build their brand.
Yeah, like if anybody wants to build your social media, let them know.
Yeah.
I've helped some people like get started.
And people better jump on it, because eventually you start building value, and you're going to start charging more for your time, because a lot of people are going to want to reach out. So you're not going to have time for everybody, so you're going to start monetizing and charging a lot.
So right now, take advantage. If you want to learn anything about social media, how to grow your personal brand, what books we recommend, like even you could hit me up, you could hit him up. We're willing to help people.
Personal development, that's what we're here for. We're
here to help people from the Coachella Valley. That's basically what.
Yeah, a lot of people doubt themselves, and it's really important to not doubt yourself and take the risk. Be willing to fail. that's what's gonna get you to places. Be willing to fail, because then you know how to get back up and you know how to do it again.
Exactly.
If they were to take everything away from me, I'd be able to know how to build it, because I've been down there already.
Exactly.
I've been down there and now I know how to get back up. So yeah, but and it's crazy because people are like, I was so scared to message you. Never be afraid to message me or message him. We're always willing to reach out and help people.
I've helped some people get started with their content creation and stuff like that, and it's because they reached out to me. Like, I don't know if you have a passion and maybe you don't know how to start, and if you're not hitting me up, if you're not hitting people that are doing it, like, we're not saying that we're freaking already like at the top. We're still learning ourselves, but at least we know that we're in the right path. And if you have any questions, just let us know, because it's so crucial that we get started now. And we're not gonna be looking for you. You kind of, it's part of being out of your comfort zone. Start DMing people, start reaching out. Like,
yeah, it's important. It's important to take action now, because you don't want to. You don't want the next 5 years to be like the last 5 years. Most people end with regret, and that's not a good thing. But be willing to put in the work, and be willing to get a bloody nose, get punches, get rejections, go through failures. That's just life. What can you do? Life is not perfect.
Yes, it's not gonna be a perfect bubble. Like, it's what was the life is not a straight.
No, it's a bumpy road. It's a bumpy road. And nothing is perfect. Just because you see things through social media doesn't mean everything is going perfect. We all go through struggles. We all go through mental breakdowns. We're the same as you. We have the same struggles, but we're just willing to put in the work. That's the difference.
We're putting in the work, and we're spreading the positive message. Like, I started encouraging people, just like, man, I want people to get encouraged by the stuff I'm doing. If they see me posting this video, I'm posting another video,
people are starting to do it because what I'm doing is like, oh, if it's working for this guy, it's gonna work for me. Exactly. Yeah, it's gonna work for you. Just be willing to put in the work.
Even if you have your personal business, if you're not using social media, like, I've been using my social media for personal business, and that has helped me already. And I haven't even gone 100% in the way I want to do it. Like, I'm still learning how to create better content, and I already got some good jobs, some good gigs through social media.
Yeah, you get offered a lot of things. Just like I was welcome to this podcast. Well, I mean, it would have never been if it wasn't through social media. And we just lived across from each other years ago.
Yeah, did you go to Van Buren?
I went to Van Buren. That was my elementary school right there.
Me too. That's crazy.
It's crazy. I've probably known you before and we didn't even know. It's crazy, huh? Such a small world.
It's such a small world.
You never know who you're going to run to. And it's not what you know. It's who you know.
And the only reason we're here is because of social media. So I just want you, if you guys could take anything from everything we said, is just get out of your comfort zone and reach out to people. Reach out to people that are trying to help you, because we're here to help you. We're not here to just talk about our personal journeys. Our main goal is to just bring awareness to the Coachella Valley. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to DM us, and especially now, because like he said, a lot of people are starting to recognize him. He's getting a lot of DMs, and we're not gonna go find you. We don't know what your dreams are. We don't know what you want to do, so don't be afraid to ask, and we're here to help, guys. And we just want to make the Coachella Valley, we want to blow it up. We want to take advantage of the situation.
2019 is going to be a great year. Full of challenges, but it's going to be great ones.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, thank you for having me here. It was a privilege meeting you, and anytime that you need anything, I'm here. Feel free to reach out.
Sure, same here, and I'm definitely gonna have you back on my podcast.
Of course.
Like I said, 2019, we're gonna kill 2019. So maybe at the end of the year, maybe at the beginning of next year, maybe in the summer, see how we're doing, and then just keep us accountable.
It's gonna be great, and just do it right now. If you're ready for something, or if you think you're not ready, you're gonna be ready, because it's about taking action. No,
I wasn't when I started making videos. I wasn't even ready. When I started making YouTube videos, it was on an iPhone like 4 or an iPhone 5. I didn't have a tripod. I didn't have lighting. My friend was recording, like the thing was shaking. The videos are up on YouTube. Like, just get started. Whatever phone you have, it's good enough to get started, because at least you're doing something and you're learning from that.
And it's not about where you're at right now. Don't worry about where you're at right now. It's where you're headed and where you're going to be at in the next 5 to 10 years. So put in the work, and don't let regret be the thing that stops you. Keep doing the work. So thank you.
Thank you, man.
It was great.
Subscribe.
Let's have a good one, and let's get it. Let's kill it.
Yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up. Also, let us know in the comments if you have any questions or anything that you got from this video. Let us know in the comments. And if you were hearing this on the podcast, give it a 5-star rating, leave a review. That'll help us out with the algorithm and all that stuff. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for coming.
And the only thing that this guy might just ask for is bring a friend. Bring a friend so that they can watch this content. You never know who's gonna get inspired. We might be talking to that one person behind the screen. It might be you. So bring a friend and recommend this to other people, because eventually it's gonna help someone else. So thank you.
Positive messages everywhere. I'll see you guys next time.